Half a day, boys and girls. Suzu'us Ma'asi for viewing this short presentation as you prepare to visit the Guam Museum. Some of you may have already visited the museum before. Maybe you went there for a party, or watched a movie in their theater, or visited the exhibitions. If you've never been to the museum, this presentation will share some basic information about what to expect when you go. Let's start by answering the question, what is a museum? Maybe you know the answer already. Let's find out. A museum is a building or place in which objects of interest or significance are stored and exhibited or displayed for visitors to see. Here is a picture of the Guam Museum taken from the governor's house up on the hill overlooking our capital of Hagåtña. The Guam Museum is the building with the big arch. Inside the museum, there are lots of objects and images that are important to the people of Guam. These different things are called the museum's collections. They teach us about the history, culture, language, and environment of the Chamorro people and others who call Guahan or Guam home. By learning about these things, we can see how our island is connected to people and cultures from all over the world. It's a nice place to visit and a fun place to learn. A museum collects all kinds of artifacts and stuff and takes care of them. Many of these things come from people in the community who donate them to the museum. Every object has a story. Who made it? Where did it come from? How was it used? Part of the museum's job is to find ways for other people to see these things so they can learn about them too. Museums enable people to learn, explore, or simply to have fun. There are lots of things to do at the museum. You can visit the exhibitions, watch movies, play games, go on scavenger hunts, paint pictures, learn how to do stuff you've never done before. Sometimes the museum has special events and activities just for kids to learn about things like animals in Guam, like the brown tree snake and its effect on our island's birds. Or to learn from local artists how to create special kinds of art, or just to have fun painting from your own imagination. Not all museums are the same. There are different kinds that can be about different things, such as art, history, or science. Their collections and their focus may be different as well. For example, the Bishop Museum in Honolulu and our Senator Antonio Palomo Guam Museum are both museums that focus on culture, history, and the natural environment. The Bishop Museum focuses on the people and culture of the Hawaiian Islands, and the Guam Museum focuses on the people and culture of the Mariana Islands. The National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. focuses on technology used for flying and space travel and exploration. The National Zoo, also in Washington, D.C., focuses on animals and plants and the natural environment. Zoos are also a kind of museum. Let's learn a little bit more about the Guam Museum. Its official name is the Senator Antonio Palomo Guam Museum and Chamorro Educational Facility. It's a mouthful, but that's whom the museum is named after. Mr. Palomo was a journalist and a senator in the Guam legislature. He was also in charge of the museum from 1995 to 2007. Unfortunately, at the time, there was no permanent building for the museum that people could actually visit. It was his dream and many others that the museum would have a permanent home for all of the important things that belonged in its collections, things that were important to the people of Guam. You see, the Guam Museum did not always look like this. The building you're going to visit was opened in 2017, just 5 years ago. But actually, the Guam Museum has a much longer history. It's been around for about 90 years. In the 1920s, a group of Chamorro teachers, led by Dr. Ramon Sablan, got together and thought there should be a museum to protect the island's ancient artifacts and to teach students about Guam history and culture. In 1932, the original Guam Museum opened in one of the government buildings at the Plaza de España. The first museum director was Hiram Elliott. The original building was destroyed in World War II, but it reopened 10 years later in 1954. This is what the museum looked like in 1954 in the old garden house, which you can still see at the plaza if you go through the arches and walk through some of the old structures there. In this picture, you can see some of the things that were kept there: an old Guam flag, some wooden furniture, ceramic pots, and Carabao cartwheels. It was just a very small space, but the museum was there for about 30 years and lots of people came to see it, especially groups of students like you. And of course, this is what the museum looks like today. It's located in Skinner Plaza, right next to some other important historic buildings in Hagåtña, including the Hagåtña Cathedral Basilica, the Guam Legislature Building, the Plaza de España, and the Hagåtña Post Office. The Guam Museum has a movie theater, a garden and courtyard, a place to store all the objects and artifacts, an outdoor stage, and galleries for exhibitions. So, when you finally get to the museum, you will visit the exhibitions. What is an exhibition? An exhibition is a display or a presentation of selected items, usually from the museum's collections. The Guam Museum has many things in its collections. Not everything is on display, but here are some of the things that you can see. These are parts of a special type of fish hook used by the ancient Chamorros to catch large fish that swim in deep water. They're called gorges. The fish would swallow the hook, and this is the part that gets stuck in the fish's throat. On the right are some tools made of giant clamshell or hema. These tools are often attached to a wooden handle so it can be used like an axe to cut wood or carve a canoe. The museum also has a lot of pottery fragments. They are the most numerous kind of any artifact found in Guam. You can find them everywhere, sometimes if you're near the beach or near the jungle. But these specimens are very old artifacts, probably over 2,000 years old. You can tell these are old because they have markings. You can see these artifacts and many more in the permanent exhibition. We say museum exhibitions are permanent when they are set to stay up long term or meant to be displayed for years. An exhibition is temporary when it's meant to be displayed only for a limited time. The museum's permanent exhibition is called Ihinanauta Nui Manautautanu Itzamoru Siha, The Journey of the Chamorro People. It starts on the second floor and has 7 different areas for visitors to learn the 4,000-year history of the people of Guam and the Marianas, from ancient to Spanish times, American naval rule, Japanese occupation in World War II, post-World War II, and today. Since 2017, the Guam Museum has had many temporary exhibitions on all kinds of things, from Chamorro culture to World War II to celebrating Guam's villages and Guam's coral reefs. Even though they're only up for a short time, temporary exhibitions are important, not only because they are opportunities to show visitors new things, but they help the museum keep visitors coming back for more. We're excited that you were able to visit the museum. Because many of the things at the museum are valuable to the people of Guam, visitors need to be on their best behavior. Here are some general ways to behave when you visit the museum. First, stay with your group so everyone knows where they're supposed to be. Be respectful of other visitors at the museum. There may be other people who want to enjoy the museum too. Be safe, walk, don't run. And use indoor voices. No need to shout or talk too loudly. The museum staff are there to keep you safe and help you enjoy your visit. Follow their instructions at all times. Remember, there's no food or drinks allowed in the exhibitions or in the theater. You may be able to eat outside in the garden. Also, don't forget to throw away your trash where it belongs. Help keep the museum clean. We all have to do our part. You may not know this, but oil and dirt on your hands can damage things. Don't touch cases, objects, or panels. Only touch things when permitted. Raise your hand if you have a question. just like you do at school. The museum is a place for you to enjoy and learn. Don't forget to have fun. On behalf of Guampedia, si Zu'us Ma'asi, have a great time visiting the Guam Museum.